Andrew Garfield has a new movie on VOD, and we've got 7 things to say about it, so let's get to it.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to our channel. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Ken, and today we're going to be talking about the new VOD film Mainstream.
Yeah.
Which just came out, I believe, last weekend, starring Andrew Garfield, Mia Hawke, who of course is the daughter of Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman, and then directed by Mia Coppola, who's the daughter of Sofia Coppola and the granddaughter of Francis Ford Coppola, who is a legendary filmmaker, directed The Godfather and Apocalypse Now. Did you know that?
I didn't until you told me, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but we're gonna give a brief synopsis on this film, let you all know what it's about, and then we're going to give you 7 things that we want to say about it.
Yeah, we thought this might be just, quick, straight to the point.
Kind of like a review, but just in our own style. But before we get into just our 7 things we want to say about it, we want to ask that if you are not yet a subscriber of Married with Media, our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. We would definitely appreciate it. And also like this video, guys. Every single like will help this video out and help this channel grow. And also comment down below if you've seen Mainstream, if you plan on seeing Mainstream based on our recommendation, whether or not we recommend it or not to you. But comment down below and turn on those bell notifications for the future videos. So
yes, absolutely.
Let's get into it. Let's get into our first thing we want to say about it, and it's a positive. We're going to break this down into positive and negatives, and that's going to kind of dictate whether or not we recommend it or not. But Andrew Garfield is fantastic in this movie.
He is, for sure. His character is not necessarily a likable character, but he does a fantastic job at portraying this, character, and it's
a very intense, just driven performance, just like in your face. And we don't see Andrew Garfield a lot anymore, and I don't know why. He's great, and he's always been great. The last movie he was in was Under the Silver Lake, which was, I know you said you didn't remember watching it.
I don't remember it, so
but
I don't know if
I know we watched it together. It's an A24 film. It was very weird and strange, kind of a modern day noir type film, dreamlike sequences. It was a strange film, but that was the last movie he was in.
Clearly, it had no impression on me because I'm not remembering a thing.
But yeah, if there's one bright spot thing to take away from this movie, it is Andrew Garfield's performance.
Yes.
But getting into the second thing we want to talk about is this movie has a very interesting cast.
Yeah, it does.
You have Mia Hawke, who we already talked about. She's really good in the movie. She's been in Stranger Things season 3. She was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She's kind of moving up and following in her mother and father's footsteps, maybe.
Yeah.
But you also have Johnny Knoxville shows up in this movie, which was weird, but he was really good in it. Also, Jason Schwartzman is in this movie, who's in the film Rushmore, a Wes Anderson film, and a lot of other comedies and stuff. You have Jake Paul, a YouTuber, and then you have Nat Wolff, who when I was watching the movie, I looked at him and I was like, "Is that Alex Wolff?" Because we know Alex Wolff.
Yeah, he had a face that you just remembered.
Yeah, we know Alex Wolff from Hereditary, from the Jumanji movies, and it looked like him, but his nose was a little bit smaller. And the whole time I thought, did Alex Wolff get a nose job?
Right.
But then when we looked it up, Nat Wolff is Alex Wolff's older brother. So that was kind of interesting that he was in this movie, and he was actually pretty good as well. So yeah, I would chalk that up as a positive for this movie. So getting into our first negative, there are some noticeable story issues in this movie. There's some plot points that don't really feel like they tie up very neatly by the end. I know you were talking about just the girl and her father's death and how they go into that a little bit, but not too much.
Yeah, I feel like they referenced it a little too much to have done nothing with it. But yeah, her father, he passed away in a car accident. I think she was with him when it happened. And yeah, I'm not really sure why they made it feel like it was an important part of the story, but I just didn't really understand it.
Yeah, and then Link, who's the Andrew Garfield's character, which I didn't even know his name the whole movie until I looked it up. But he apparently, well, I don't want to give away spoilers, but there's something with him and his family they don't really go into as much as I would have liked them to. But so that's number 3. Number 4, this movie is very much a commentary on mental illness, on how social media affects your mental health. And I don't really feel like they really said anything new with it. That's just the way I felt. You could have felt differently.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think they were jumping on the whole bandwagon of talking about the negative effects of social media. You know, we've had the more recent, recent-ish documentary, The Social Dilemma.
Social Dilemma, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like there's been some other things, just, you know, trying to bring light of the negatives of social media and our addictions to it, and just seeking self-worth from social media.
Yeah, there's a big plot point has to do with that. So there's a lot of movies that have done that. I just don't feel like this movie had anything necessarily new or profound to say with that message.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I feel like this one focuses a little bit more on the rise, like it follows the journey of starting out on social media and trying to become famous, if you will.
Yeah.
It kind of follows that closely than some other things might, but yeah.
So that would be a negative from us. So going into number 5, this movie was only 95 minutes and it felt long.
It felt a lot longer.
It felt like it was about 2 hours. And when I really thought about it, I think it's because the editing is so fast paced. The style is just so, this movie just moves. And I feel like it gets through like an hour's worth of story in like 20 minutes.
True.
So by the time you get to like minute 25, it feels like we've gotten everything out of the movie that we're going to get. And then after that, it just feels very repetitive. It just keeps repeating itself.
Yeah.
Going into the number 6, which I would say is a positive, but we came up with our own things, and I know that you didn't fully agree with this one, but I thought this had some pretty good style and cinematography in it.
Yeah, I mean, it did. There are some parts that I didn't love, which I think is our number 7. But you know, overall, I guess I could agree with that.
Just from a cinematic perspective, it looked really good. There were some really good shots. I think of this shot of her standing in front of that big screen towards the end with Andrew Garfield like opening up his mouth.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Just that shot composition was really good. And there's tons of that kind of stuff in the movie. There's some really weird like cartoony stuff in it that I felt like was strange. But I mean, I would put the visuals and cinematography as a positive. So that's 3 positives and 3 negatives so far. Let's get into our number 7 thing that we want to say. And this movie has a weird opening.
It does. So much so that I was pretty sure I wasn't going to enjoy it like at all. And I will say it got better though. But yeah, the opening was just a little bit strange, and I feel like a lot different than.
And you're talking about the text that was up, like it was like opening up like a vaudevillain type movie from like the 30s.
But I just didn't.
It felt like a very awkward opening.
Yeah, I didn't love it.
Felt like a very awkward opening. But that is our 7 things, and we've got 4 negatives and we've got 3 positives, which would make this a non-recommendation, would you say?
Yeah, so if you went by that, I guess you would say so. But I feel like after we talked, it's not, for me anyway, it's not that I wouldn't recommend it. But I think we decided that we wouldn't pay $6.99 for it to rent it.
We paid $7 to rent this. Now, if this shows up on Netflix or Amazon Prime, I think it's worth checking out. It's just interesting enough that I would recommend checking it out if it was already on a streaming service. Now, I do not recommend that you pay $7 to watch this.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
But yeah, that's pretty much our 7 things we want to say about Mainstream. If you checked out Mainstream, comment down below. If you're going to check it out based on our kind of sort of review, then leave that in the comment section below. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more great content, and we'll see you later.
Bye, guys.